We had a great morning of worship as the whole student body came together in chapel this morning. We're in a series where we're talking about living in culture, and Dean Saban spoke to us today about what that means and what that looks like, reflecting on his own past life and his experiences and drawing from Scripture as well. He said that as Christians, we're going to contrast with the culture around us, that we need to be constantly confessing Jesus Christ in our actions and the reason for why we do certain things, and that also we need to be content with the life that Christ has given us and not strive for success in worldly eyes, but strive towards Christ in all that we do. It was a great morning, and looking forward to continuing in worship with Kingswood.
Today in chapel, we've been going through a sermon series on living in culture. And today, Dean Saban gave us a message on how we need to, as Christians, we need to live in contrast with the culture that we're in. He also said that we need to be consistent in our confession of the fact that God is the reason that we are in contrast to the culture that we live in. He also talked about how we need to have an abiding contentment in where we're at. We don't have to be worried about material possessions. If we have Christ inside of us, then He is all we need. He also talked about how it's okay to lose. We don't have to exalt ourselves. If God is truly within us and we are truly following Him for our life, He is all we need, and it's okay to lose.
Today in chapel, Reverend Kirk Saban talked about the choice we have to follow God or to conform into the culture. And when we choose to follow God, there are certain freedoms that we have to give up. As Christians, we have the choice to contrast against culture. And when we contrast against culture, we can then use that contrast to stand out and show the light of Jesus to other people. Christians also live a life of confession, in that with everything we are, we give all of our credit to God. We take none of the credit for ourselves. Everything goes to God. And lastly, as Christians, we live a life of contentment. Sometimes we might not feel like we're the most successful people on earth, but we are content in losing as long as we are winners in God's eyes.